We would like to welcome you officially, if you can hear us, and I believe you finally can, to game number 2 of this series here on this Wednesday afternoon as the Chemeketa Storm take on the Mount Hood Saints. Janice, we had some audio problems in game 1, but we should be good to go in game 2. Tell me what you said before the first game. You looking forward to this one?
Oh, definitely. I think Mount Hood's going to do well in this game.
Not to mention my cameraman Janice is a little bit under the weather, but he is still a team player making it here today, and we thank him for that. So batting first for the Storm is going to be, let's see here, if I can get my papers in order. It is going to be McKenna Crowley, and she was the leadoff hitter in game number 1, and she takes the first pitch up high, 1-0. Lexi Gary is on the mound for the Saints. She fires, swing and a miss. Mount Hood won game number 1, 3-0. As we get set for the 1-1 pitch, and that one is inside, but called for strike 2. 1-2 now the count on Crowley. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got her with up high. Strikeout number 1. 1 gone. Sierra Hernandez is up next, as you just heard our lovely public address announcer, Albert Hensley, who I referenced in the first game, but apparently no one could hear me because of our problems. And the first pitch is in there, 0-1. Saints now 25-6. They were 24-6 after coming into this game, but again they win game number 1, so they go to 25-6. That one hit, and that one's foul. Oh, what a catch! The catch is made by Sarah Martin for out number 2. What a great play, and if only Janice turned the camera a little bit to the right. But I guarantee you, Sarah Martin made a spectacular catch, and there's 2 gone here in the first. So now Emily Cole. That first pitch was in there, 0-1. And the pitch from Gary is in there, 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch, swing and hit foul. Cannot catch up to it as it hits the top of the fence. And the count remains 0-2. Changing it up a little bit today as we broadcast to you live here from Gresham, Oregon. I'm currently not wearing the headset, just blabbing into a microphone. So if I seem a little bit loud, I'm sorry, but you can always turn it down. As here comes the 0-2 pitch once again, and that one just low, 1-2. It was a very slow start, kind of, but the game went by very fast in game number 1. Slow start meaning we did not see our first runs until the bottom of the 5th when the Saints scored 3, as that one is hit into left field and making the catch. And there is 3 gone here in the first. So we go to the bottom of the first, still scoreless, as Chemeketa basically goes 1, 2, 3. We are going to be learning the Mount Hood lineup live with you as we had to get this stream started, so I did not have a chance to write it down as it was given to our public address announcer right before the game started. So we do not know who is up first until we hear the announcement. And it'll be Kenzie. So Kosmicki first, as she was in game number 1. And she takes the first pitch up high, 1-0. Want to know the count on Kosmicki, and the pitch is up high again, 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Swing and a ball drilled down the line, but that one is foul, 2-1. You know, it's been kind of some nice weather for the last couple of days, but we're still standing in some slush out here. But luckily, at least for the field part in the outfield, it looks pretty dry out there. So I think it's just this portion past the fence where we are broadcasting here in center field. So 2-1 now, the count on Kenzie. And the pitch on its way, swinging a foul back, 2-2. You can hear the chants from the Saints dugout down the third base line. 2-2 on Kosmicki. And the pitch. And that one is in there. And Kenzie strikes out looking for out number 1. Matlin Leach up next. Forgot to mention who is on the mound right now for the Chemeketa Storm. It is Hannah Walleman. As that first pitch goes behind the plate there, 0-1. 0-1 now the count. And the next pitch on its way. That one just outside, 1-1. We want to say bless you to everyone in the Saints dugout because they're all sneezing apparently. As the pitch is drilled down the line foul. And it's 1-2. So 1-2 the count. Next pitch on the way. Hit up in the air, down the line, sliding over, and that one drops. Still 1-2. Only one gone here in the bottom of the first. 1-2 count. Hit down the line, right to second, throw to first is in time, 2 gone. Now it's Alexia Gary. Known for her power. She had 2 home runs in the first game that we broadcast here against Grays Harbor. She did not have any home runs in game 1 here today. She did have a nice powerful hit to center though. And the pitch to her, swinging the ball lifted, backing up to make the catch, shortstop, and that will retire the side. And we go to the second. The catch there made by Ellie Martin. So at the end of one, we are still scoreless. We go to 2 here in Gresham. And Janice threw the first inning, kind of what we saw similar in game 1, no runs. Just kind of shows how, tight these teams play together.
Oh, yeah, they're both good teams.
So we go to the second. Once again, we did not have any runs in game number 1 until the 5th. So went by kind of quick. This one kind of started off a little bit slower. I think the first inning in game number 1 went by a little bit faster, but same result, 0-0 at the end of 1. So we go to the top of the second now, and it will be batter number 4 for the Storm as they went 1-2-3 in the top of the first. So that will be Martin, who actually made the catch out in shortstop. She will be leading things off here in the top of the second. After her will be Cassandra Douglas, and then it will be Hannah Walleman, who is the pitcher. Just a recap of that bottom of the first for the Saints. First up was Kenzie Kosmicki. She struck out looking. Then Madeline Leach. She was grounded out to second. Throw over to first. And then Lexi Gary, who popped up to the shortstop. So once again, we go to the top of the second in a scoreless game. And let's see what Ellie Martin does. So now Alexa Gary pitching to Ellie Martin. And she swings and hits that one foul into the tree behind the first base dugout. So 0-1 the count. Top second. And the pitch. That one outside, 1-1. Tight battle so far between the Storm and the Saints. And the pitch on its way is down low, but in there. 1-2. So 1-2. Now the count. And the pitch. Swing and the ball lifted. And that one going to go out of play behind the third base line. As Sarah Martin tried to make her way over to make the catch, but fence gets in her way. Goes out of play. Still 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Swinging the ball lifted out to center. Kosmicki coming in, and the catch is made there by Madeline Leach. And there is one down here in the top of the second. So now Cassandra Douglas, excuse me. So Cassandra Douglas now. First pitch in there, but just in outside, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch on its way from Lexi Gary. Just low, 2-0. Two 2-0 now the count on Douglas. That one high, 3-0. Three and 0 the count. And the pitch. Inside, 4-pitch walk. And Douglas with a 1-out walk. So Now Hannah Walleman. Hannah Walleman now. First pitch inside. Called strike one. So 0-1 the count. And the next pitch on the way. Swinging a ball hit back foul. 0-2. Oh, and 2 the count. Next offering. Swing and a miss. And there's 2 gone. So now it's Dixon. First pitch is in there, strike one. Fouled back, 0-2. So Emily Dixon facing an 0-2 count with 2 down. That one inside, 1-2. One on, 2 out, top 2. 0-0. 1-2 pitch. Swinging the ball lifted up foul, but over there is Johnson, and she makes the catch. And again, it's 1-2-3 with the exception of the walk. So we go to the bottom of the second with the Saints and Storm, still scoreless. So we go to the bottom of the second, still a scoreless game. So Brenna Wilson now leading things off for the Saints. Hannah Williman still on the mound. First pitch is up high, 1-0. As Alaska Airlines makes its way above us. Next pitch up high as well, 2-0. Two nothing pitch on its way. Swinging the ball lifted. That one is fair as it hit third base. It's into the field, and Wilson is on with a leadoff single. And as I make my way over to my cameraman Janice, I want to ask him a quick question. Janice, what city do you think that Alaska Airlines flight was coming from?
I don't know. New Orleans.
I don't know. Maybe it was my mom's flight from New York City. So
Oh, your
maybe I don't know. She said that she was going to be back later though, so I don't think it's her flight. That one drilled, as that one backing up to make the catch, and there's one away here in the bottom of the second as Johnson pops out to the shortstop. Now Delaney to Chuck, as it was McKenna Crowley that made the catch out at shortstop, or not McKenna Crowley, sorry, as that one is drilled into center field, rounding second, Wilson heading to third, DeChuck heading to second, and she's on with a double. So again, only one gone here in the second. Correction on that shortstop. It was actually Ellie Martin. Sarah Martin hits one deep. It's gone. She strikes one home. Sarah Martin, it's 3-0 Saints. She had the only home run in the game against Clackamas. She has the first deep shot here tonight. And the Saints once again on the board first here in the bottom of the second. And it's 3-0. And it looks like with that, we are going to get a pitching change for the Storm. With only one out here in the bottom of the second. And what a shot from Sarah Martin. Wouldn't you say, Jan?
Oh, yeah. I wish I got that on camera.
Oh, yeah. Didn't get the tail end of it, though, because I didn't see you flip the camera around. But that one was, you could tell, it was deep. And she gets the first big shot of the night and gives the Saints an early 3-0 lead, as it took until inning number 5 in game number 1. It only takes 2 here in game number 2. And Sarah Martin, once again, with a 3-run home run to give the Saints an early 3-0 lead. Zoe Zimmer now. And there is no pitching change, I guess. I saw another pitcher out there, and I guess it was nothing to be too concerned about yet, because it is still Hannah Williman on the mound for the Storm. As Zoe Zimmer swings on the first pitch, 0-1 the count. 0-1, fouled back, 0-2. So the count now 0-2 on Zimmer, with one away here in the bottom of the second. And that one just outside, 1-2. One-two pitch. Drilled to center, and it's a base hit for Zimmer as she gets on to first safely. Still only one gone here in the second. Leslie Main now. And the first pitch is just in there, 0-1. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 0-2. Oh and 2 the count now on Maine as she strikes one to third. Forget the play to second, over to first in time. As they get the runner to second, but Maine is out at first, 2 away. So back to the top of the lineup is Kenzie Kosmicki. Zoe Zimmer gets to second. As now Kenzie back, top lineup. She drills one into left field, rounding third, staying there. Now the Saints put runners on the corners with 2 down. So back to Matlin Leach, who back in the first inning grounded out to the second baseman. As she takes the first pitch and swings and hits it foul behind the first base dugout. So 0-1 the count here on Matlin Leach. Bottom 2, 2 down, 3-0 Mount Hood. And the pitch. Ball lifted deep. Goodbye! As it hits our extension cord and hits the Canadian flag. And another 3-run shot. It's Matlin Leach. It's 6-0 Saints. So back to Lexi Gary now. As she drills one to shortstop, throw to first is in time, so the Storm are able to get out of the jam, but not before, not one, but 2 deep shots over the fence. We go to the third and a 6-0 Saints lead. Jessica Kelso to lead things off for Chemeketa, top 3. After giving up 6 in the bottom of the second, first pitch from Gary is over the plate, but low, 1-0. One 0 pitch, swing and a miss, 1-1. 1-1 the pitch on Kelso. Inside. Called strike 2. That one hit up in the air, but foul as that one goes and almost collides into people there sitting on the bench, but luckily it hits nobody, and we play on 1-2 still. Kelso on a 1-2. That one low, 2-2. Two swung and hit foul behind the dugout on the first base side, so it remains 2-2. And that home run by Matlin Leach, Janice, almost takes out our extension cord. You know how much effort we went through to plug that in.
Oh, yeah. Took me by surprise.
If that had gotten unplugged, we would have had some words for her.
Well, I mean, we would have lost our broadcast.
Well, as that one hit up high, coming in to make the catch, but she cannot. So it is a single here off the hit from Kelso, and she gets to first. Catch could not be made in right field. So now it's Javen Bad Bear. As that first pitch up high, throw over to second, not going to be in time. And Kosmicki comes in from center to save the ball. But it's a stolen base for Kelso. So now the Storm have a runner on second with nobody on here in the top of the third, trailing 6-0. 1-0 the pitch on Bad Bear. That one low, and Kelso's going to make her way to third, and she gets there safely on the pass ball. As Kosmicki gives some words of advice to our other two outfielders. Runner on third for Chemeketa, nobody gone. 2-0 is the pitch on Bad Bear, and that one is inside 3-0. So now the 3-0 pitch. And that one high. It's a 4-pitch walk, and Chemeketa's got runners on the corners. And that brings us back to the top of the lineup. McKenna Crowley. So we have a meeting at the mound between Alexa Gary and her catcher. Does not look like Coach Hendrickson is going to come out. Just a little bit of a conversation between pitcher and catcher. Saints still lead 6-0 here. The top of the third. Nobody out. Runners on the corners, first and third. As McKenna Crowley steps back up. She struck out in the first. Second appearance here in game number 2 as that one is high and the count is 1-0. So now the 1-0 is inside. Throw over to second. Back to third. Play cannot be made. And both runners are safe. 2-0 the count. And here's the pitch to Crowley. And she hits that one down the line, foul and out of play as it hits the roof of the first base dugout. So 2-1. Two and one pitch. Swinging the ball drilled. Kosmicki can't get it. So now runners come in to score. Staying at third as Marley Johnson makes the save. But runs come in for the Storm. They get one. And they have finally scored here this afternoon. And it's 6-1. And Crowley with a double. And the first pitch offered. Backing up, making the catch, 2 down. Runner tags, throw home is not in time, and it's 6-2. So Hernandez sacrifices, gets Bad Bear home. And Crowley stays on second. But the Storm get 2 back as now Emily Cole steps up. In what was a 6-0 game, Chemeketa getting on the board for the first time here today. It's a 4-run game. First pitch offered to Cole is in there for called strike number 1. So a couple of powerful hits for the Storm, giving them a little spark of confidence here in game number 2. And the pitch on its way, that one low. So that is 1-1. One and one the count. And that one low, 2-1. So now 2-1 the count. And the pitch, swing and a foul back, 2-2. So only one out here in the top of the third. Just one runner on base for the Storm. As the 2-2 pitch is hit right to shortstop. Throw to first is not going to be there. Crowley goes to third. Runners on the corners again. So now Ellie Martin. And all of a sudden, what seemed like 2 big shots that went over the fence for Mount Hood. And now for Chemeketa, Janice, their tying run is on deck.
Yeah, Chemeketa's making a comeback.
So now here's the first pitch on Martin, and that one's a swing and a miss, 0-1. So 0-1 the pitch, and that one, they're going to throw to second as the cutoff is made there by Leach, but no further play. and it's 2-1. I'm sorry, the count is 0-2. Next pitch now to Martin. Inside, 1-2. One-two count. And that one is outside, 2-2. Two pitch to Martin. Fouled back, so it remains 2-2. Two and two, still the count on Martin. And the pitch lifted up, making the catch is Leach. And everyone stays where they are, 2 down. So now Cassandra Douglas. So it started off for a pretty good inning. Chemeketa gets 2 runs here, but now they've gotten 2 outs. And the pitch lifted up and coming in to make the catch. Let's see. It is going to be, I believe that's Leach again. She makes the last 2 outs, and we go to the bottom of the 3rd, but not before the Storm put some runs on the board. This has become a 4-run game. It's 6-2. You know, Janice, we talked about it before the game, gave our little predictions, and I kind of took Chemeketa for a reason. I like the slow start, kind of gave me a feel that these two teams are going to be playing pretty tight. And so far here in game number 2, Mount Hood did get 6 runs in that bottom of the 2nd, but Chemeketa starting to make a little bit of a comeback here. And, even though they only got 2 in that top of the 3rd, it seemed to give them a little spark of confidence there.
Yeah, but I think I still believe in Mount Hood for this game.
Well, we'll see what they do here in the bottom of the 3rd, and you think they can add a couple more?
Yeah, I think they can.
4-run game as Mount Hood leads it 6-2 as we go bottom 3. So Brenna Wilson will be leading things off here for the Saints. Matlin Leach and Sarah Martin with the 2 home runs. Both of them 3-run shots. We'll see what Brenna Wilson does here to start as that first pitch up high, 1-0. One and 0, and that one is hit to second base. Throw to first in time, 1 down. So now Marley Johnson, a name that we recognize from wintertime, being with the basketball team. Now she gets to play again for the softball team, as we have probably mentioned that before, but Just putting it out there again, and she hits one to the shortstop. Here's the throw to first. That one's in time. 2 down. So 2 batters, 2 outs. And now it brings up Delaney to Chuck. Make it a little bit interesting here is we're in the bottom of the third. Mount Hood got the first 6 in the bottom of the second, but already 2 batters down, 2 outs already on the field. First pitch there was just inside. 1-0 the count now on to Chuck. Next pitch on its way up high, 2-0. Two and 0 the count on to Chuck. That one hit down into right field, but it's foul. And it's 2-1. So 2-1 now the count on to Chuck. And the pitch in there, 2-2. Two and two the count. Ball hit right to the first base. She will touch. And the Saints go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the third. So we go to the fourth, and it's still a 6-2 lead for Mount Hood. So now the first pitch to Hannah Wallaman, and Marley Johnson now is into the game for the Saints. She takes over for Lexi Gary here in the top of the fourth. First pitch was up high, 1-0. Second pitch there, and that one hit into left field, and Wallaman is on with a leadoff single. First pitch on its way. That one is in there for a called strike on Dixon. Oh and 1, and that one is high and outside, 1-1. And that one hit right back to Johnson. Throw to second. They get to play at second, but not at first. So there's one down. So now Jessica Kelso. First pitch is outside, 1-0. And here's the 1-0 pitch. That one swing and a miss, 1-1. One and one pitch is in there, 1-2. One and two the count, one down. That one is in there, called strike 3. Got her looking, 2 down. So now Javen Bad Bear. As she awaits her first pitch from Marley Johnson and hits that one to shortstop. They make the play at second, and that will retire the side as we go now to the bottom of the fourth, and Mount Hood still holding on to a 6-2 lead. So Sarah Martin, who got the first home run back in the second, lead things off here in the fourth. We'll see if she can maybe go 2 for 2 here in game 2 as she awaits the first pitch, and that one is low, 1-0. So pitching now for the Storm is Emily Cole. As the next pitch to Martin is dribbled down the line, and that one is fair. She gets to first. She's going to stay there, and she's on with a leadoff single. So now Kayla Richmond, who is coming into the place of Zoe Zimmer. As she sees her first crack of the bat tonight. As she awaits to get the first pitch. And that one low, and Sarah Martin going to stay at first. No further steal from her. 1-0 the count. Bunts on that one. That one is going to be fair. Throw over to first, not in time. Sarah Martin making her way to third. and she is not going to make it home. So now Richmond, who gets to first, and Martin, who gets to third. Now runners on the corners with nobody out. So now Leslie Main. And she hits that one right back to the pitcher. Throws to first for the first out. But she advances Richmond to second. Martin stays on third. So now second and third with one gone. So back to the top of the lineup now as Mackenzie Kosmicki steps back up to the plate. She struck out in the first, singled in the second, and now in the fourth, she hits the first one back foul, 0-1. One on Kosmicki. She lifts that one up. Catch is made by Cole, 2 down. So now back to Matlin Leach, who is the other player for Mount Hood who had the home run. The one that went to the scoreboard and tangled the Canadian flag with our extension cord as she drills that one down the line, but it's foul. So 0-1 now is the count on Leach. And the pitch. That one dribbled down the line. Going to get to first. She is there. Coming in to score is Martin. And I guess she did get out. She left. I thought the umpire signaled her safe, but she was out. So she advances. Or no, that's her staying on second. So she is safe. So she's on second. Richmond on third. Sarah Martin came in to score. 7-2 Saints. So now Lexi Geary up. A little bit of confusion there, but I think we have sorted that all out. Let's see what Lexi does here as she takes that pitch into center, knocking home Richmond. Throw to second, and Leach comes in to score. 9-2 Saints. So now Brenna Wilson. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. So 0-1 now, the count on Wilson, and the next pitch on the way. Dribble down the line into right field. And Lexi going to go to second. And Wilson gets to first safely. And it's a 2-out single to put runners on first and second. So now Marley Johnson, who is 0 for 2 with a pop out to the shortstop and then a ground out to the shortstop. Lexi Geary on second. Brenna Wilson on first, and the pitch. That one foul to the fence. So the Saints adding a couple of insurance runs. They lead this game 9-2 in the bottom of the fourth. As that pitch is up high, 1-1. So Sarah Martin, Kayla Richmond, and Madeline Leach make up the 3 runs that came in to score. As the 1-1 pitch there is up high, 2-1. Two and one, swing and a miss. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's all 2s up there on the scoreboard. And the follow-up pitch to Johnson. That one inside, and the count is full. Three and two, dribbled down the line. That one fair. Throw to first is in time, and they get out number 3. But the Saints add 3, and they lead 9-2 as we go to 5. And Janice, those security runs there a little important there, as now they go back up by 7 with a 9-2 lead.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, you sat through countless hours of baseball. Can you tell me what is different about this game?
What's different about this game?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty good game. It's a lot better than the last game.
You mean the game today or the one we went to back at Sandy High School?
It's a lot better than the one at Sandy, but that one was rough.
Which one?
The second one.
The one they lost? Yeah. Oh. Well, they won game number 1 3-0. They currently lead game number 2 9-2 as we go to the top of the 5th. And I don't know if this is at the point where if they get 3 outs here, that is suddenly the end of the game. I don't know if they do the mercy rule here in the 5th, only up by 7. We might be going to 6 or so. I'm not quite certain on how that works. I don't know what the mercy run rule is here in the NWAC, but we will see. But it's 9-2, a 7-point lead for the Saints, top 5, and leading off for the Storm is going to be Crowley. And we'll see what they do here in the top of the 5th, maybe to try to get a little bit closer as they did in that last inning. Had a little bit of spark of confidence after not scoring any runs in game number 1. They've gotten 2 so far here in game number 2. So Marley Johnson is still on the mound for the Saints as she fires her first pitch of the inning, and that one is in there for a called strike. So 0-1 the count here as Johnson sets and delivers, and that one dribbled foul, 0-2. Oh and 2 the count. Johnson sets and fires. Foul. Still 0-2 the count. And the pitch. Up high, 1-2. One, two, the pitch. Hit foul. Again, 1-2. Johnson sets, delivers. And that one's in there. Called strike 3, 1 down. Got her looking there. So now Sierra Hernandez. As that first pitch gets down there, but it's a little too low, 1-0. Johnson sets and delivers again, and that one dribbled down the line, foul behind the plate, and it's 1-1. One and one now is the count on Hernandez. And Johnson sets, delivers. That one drilled right back to her. Throw to first in time, 2 down. And that'll bring up Emily Cole. 2 batters, 2 outs here for the Saints. See if they can go 1, 2, 3. So now a little bit of a shift in the outfield. Kosmicki moves more towards right center. Wilson goes more towards left center. Johnson sets, and she's ready, and she fires, and that one is in there. 0-1. Johnson sets, delivers outside, 1-1. One pitch, up high, 2-1. So now the 2-1 pitch from Johnson. And that one drilled. Martin could not make it. And it's a 2-out single for Emily Cole. And that will bring up Ellie Martin. So 1 on with 2 gone here. Top 5. Mount Hood 9. Chemeketa 2. As Johnson looks ready, she sets and delivers it. And that one is just a bit outside, 1-0. Johnson ready again. Sets. Swing and a miss. 1-1. So 1-1 now the count here on Martin. Swinging the ball, lifted to second. Throw to first is in time, and they get her at first for out number 3. So it looks like we are going to the bottom of the 5. We are not quite at the mercy yet. So the Saints will take their place batting here in the 5th as they lead at 9-2. Swing and a miss to start the bottom of the fifth as Delaney swings and misses. 0-1. Oh and 1 inside, 1-1. One and one pitch on its way outside, 2-1. Two and one pitch now to Delaney is up high, 3-1. Emily Cole pitching for the Storm. 3-1. Inside, and she walks. So now it is Sarah Martin. Sarah Martin swings. That one hit into left field. It's fair. To Chuck going around second. She goes to third. She's going to come all the way in. She scores. All the way from first. An RBI double for Sarah Martin. And the Saints extend the lead once again. It's 10-2. And that'll do it. So it is an 8-run limit, as that will do it for game number 2. The final score, the Mount Hood Saints defeat the Chemeketa Storm in both games. 3-0 the final in game 1, 10-2 the final in game number 2, as both teams out of their dugouts to shake hands. Once again, want to give special thanks to my under-the-weather cameraman, Janice, still stuck out both games here tonight. Thank you so much, Janice. You are the man.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Got a couple of games down the stretch, as Tuesday should be a fun one as well, as the Saints host Southwest Oregon. Lakers lead the Southern region, so that game here on Tuesday is going to be really fun. And then they go to Clark, and then they end the season, regular season here against Centralia a week from next Friday. And then, starting on May 18th, you have the NWAC playoffs live out at Delta Park. So should be fun to wrap up the season, Janice. Thank you once again, and always a pleasure to be with you.
Always glad to be here.
3-0 the final in game 1, 10-2 the final in game 2. For Janice Wilson, I'm Jackson Hamlin. So long from Gresham.